It sounds like David Eby is still completely against new pipelines.
A few weeks ago on this program, the Premier of Alberta, when I posed to her against the backdrop of the pitch she was already making for a pipeline that went through her province carrying oil to the northwest part of yours, that you had at the time signaled like your view on that had not changed. She said she intends to convince you otherwise. Can she convince you?
Well, I think,
that smug smile tells you everything you need to know.
I feel like the media is gathering around and chanting fight, fight, fight between us and Alberta right now. There's no fight here. The concern that I have is a matter of priorities. We have a taxpayer-funded pipeline, the TMX pipeline. It's owned by Canadians. It's not operating at capacity. There's 200,000 additional barrels of capacity in that pipeline. Let's start there. I don't support tens of billions of dollars in federal subsidy for a brand new pipeline across the north, getting rid of the tanker ban off the north coast. When we have major projects in BC and in Alberta with private companies that are advancing them, that are ready to work, ready to dig, ready to employ people, ready to diversify our trade relationships. Why would we prioritize a massive public spend like that when more limited public spend could deliver additional capacity through the pipeline we already own? And so many projects that are ready to go with actual proponents and able to deliver in a short period of time.
Why would we build a new multi-billion-dollar pipeline? Oh, I don't know, maybe so we can ship out our resources and make billions back. Danielle Smith has already laid out the plan. She's already explained everything when it comes to creating this new bitumen pipeline.
We could make trillions.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
A trillion is more than a billion, numbnuts.
We really have some of the dumbest leaders. And on top of that, it would appear at least one of these CBC analysts have caught on to Mark Carney's deception.
Yeah, because we're also expecting him to announce this that Canada will be part of this Rearm Europe deal next week as well. Althea.
The Bloc Québécois leader described Mark Carney this weekend, actually has been for several weeks, as the CEO of Canada. And I think when you look at that through that frame, some of the stuff that Andrew's talking about, for example, the disregard for Parliament kind of fits in that. Some people around the cabinet table are wondering if their role is just to rubber stamp things or if this is really a group decision-making body. I think that number one thing is the commercial relationship. And you see that because the entire rhetoric of the campaign, the elbows up, we're taking the fight to Donald Trump, disappeared. After the election was over, the Prime Minister is very complimentary to the President, who obviously loves that, for commercial reasons, because he thinks that sucking up to Donald Trump will get us the best deal. I think the Canadian government assumed that there was going to be movement, and that's why we did not see counter-tariffs and movements, and that's why we saw the news that we had today. On the defense part, again, you can see it through a commercial relationship. You talk to cabinet ministers, and the future that the Carney government imagines is one where we could be a major defense supplier, and that could be a huge spur for economic growth in this country. And so our repartnering with Europe or joining Rearm Europe is about enabling Canadian companies to do that. Yeah. And the same thing with the relationship with India. And the problem is, I think at some point, some of the commercial interests will butt with political interests, and there will be tension there.
I'm not sure why anyone is giving him the benefit of the doubt, especially when one of the first things he did was bring Chrystia Freeland back. Anyway, I'd like to know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you so much for watching.